The sheriffs are independently elected constitutional officers, which is a unique position because you're directly accountable and responsible to the public. So you have a very important role within a county to first and foremost make sure people stay safe, and it's not a cliche, it's the truth, and that's what we're there for, and can't lose sight of that. And to also be representative of the community and to be responsive to the community. So I think it's a unique role within our structure of government. What I ask myself all the time, and what I tell them to ask themselves before they make decisions, is to apply this concept, if you will, is just because you can doesn't mean you should. It isn't the right thing to do, and and that takes you a long way in a whole variety of aspects of this job. And so when you apply that, is to be fair to people, to treat people the way you want to be treated. And not everybody that does something wrong is a bad person. There's people have bumps in the road, and they have things that they may have technically done wrong, but doesn't mean there need to be severe consequences for it. So I think that we have to differentiate and distinguish those people from those who are truly the bad people in our community. But I guess one of the things, and it goes back to how we deploy our people, in high-risk situations, how we develop policies. So an example of that would be in pursuit policies. There's a lot of things that are hard to do, but there's nothing more hard, put it that way, and maybe equally as hard, but nothing more hard than knocking on a door at 3 o'clock in the morning and telling that person who answers that their son, their daughter, their husband, their wife, whoever it is, was killed in a car crash, and it was a result of a pursuit. And when they ask that question, why were you pursuing them? And was my husband, wife, son, daughter's life worth that chase? It better be worth it. And when you've done that, then you take those things, and when you have an opportunity, as I do, to set policy, those experiences drive the policy, and that's one of the reasons why we have a very narrow pursuit policy, because it better be worth it. And we don't pursue for minor things, and it's not worth it. And that's one of the things that you have to do sometimes. You just say no. It's the same thing with tactical situations. If we're going to send somebody through that front door, it better be worth it. It better not be for some inconsequential or insignificant crime. As far as the legislative efforts of the Florida Sheriff's Association, I think it's probably one of the most significant things that we do as an association, because what comes out of that legislation drives our actions or inactions and governs what we do every single day. So, the legislative process is challenging, no question, and one of the things that we have to do is compromise, because that's what the legislative process is all about. And you've got people who support your positions, you got people who oppose your positions, and sometimes you have to dig in and say no, but largely it's one where you have to compromise and get it to a point where everybody can live with it, and because there's a lot of divergent views. So I think that we have a strong history within the Florida Sheriff's Association of being very effective in looking out for the best interests of Floridians and making sure that we have the tools that we need and don't have those things that will adversely impact our ability to do that job and to affect good public safety. So I think the legislative committee works very hard. There's a lot of people put a lot of effort into it, but it's worth it at the end.